Yo, what up guys? I'm Drizzly. So I'm making a video about ADC positioning. 2 days ago, I saw like a guy in Reddit, in the subreddit of Smite, and he was like, yo, I really like ADC guys, but I don't know how to position myself. So I was like, you know what, dude? I haven't made a video in a long time. I even have never uploaded a video onto this channel I'm uploading now. I'm just gonna make my first video and I'm gonna do it specially for you about ADC positioning. So I said to him, like, I will work on it this evening and I'll probably get it online tomorrow or something. So in the end, it actually ended up not being ready yesterday because I realized there's way more to positioning than you at first realized. So that's why. And yeah, I think we should just get into it. First of all, I want to give some credit to I'm Naz, one of my teammates, the support for my team, and well, Destiny, because he has like give some input to some of my opinions on things, which really helped me make this video. So also something about my own experience, so that you know that I'm not like a new player to the game. I play this game for over 2 years. I don't really want to. I don't really want. I don't really know how long I've played this game. Yeah. So if like 1K ADC hours as an ADC, so in game I've played 1K of ADC. Yeah, I am. For the past couple of splits and last season I was platinum, which I guess is pretty okay. I'm currently in Plat 3. I'm aiming to be at least Diamond this season. But, like, I still think this is gonna help people out. Because, like, the things in here are things that I'm not even completely mastering myself. But I'm aiming to, like, get better at it. So, yeah, that's basically where I'm at myself. So this video is gonna be in 3 parts. Early game, mid game, and late game. Because I realized it was so long. And, yeah. So, let's just start. Okay, so first of all, what I need to let you guys know is what my understanding of the early game is, right? Because we're gonna do these videos in 3 parts: early, mid game, late game. So that means that you need to understand what my understanding of early game is. Early game, in my opinion, I'm not like I don't think early game is a factual term, but in my opinion, it's um like your support at some point start rotating to the other lane, and then some small team fights around the map are gonna break out around the enemy speed, around your red, around the enemy red, around the goldfish, around oracles or oracles, and so on, so on, so on. Okay, so like that's my understanding of the early game is the laning phase till your support starts rotating, and that's not really when it's finished, but it really finished when those small team fights are gonna start taking place on the map, in my opinion. I'm not sure if there's actually factual truth. I don't think there is, but that's my thinking of it. So it's really important to let you guys know that that's the way I see it, and that we all talk about the same period of the game. Before talking about positioning itself, we kind of need to look at some different variables, what is going to affect your positioning. First of all, it's the matchup knowledge in lane. The more often you play against a god, you will learn that what damage to expect, what range to expect. So you will learn gods while playing them or playing against them. That's the first thing I want to tell you. So you will learn more about the matchup. Know what abilities the enemy has in your kit. So like, what CC do they have? Heal. Well, that kind of stuff. This range and damage will be crucial factors, like the range and damage that you know, and will be discussed later on in the video too, why it's so important a little bit more, but it's already pretty obvious about poke and fighting. Based on the above, you should try to figure out what has the best fighting, poking potential and clearing potential. So based on that damage and that range, you should feel like Wu is actually better in pushing waves and Wu actually better in taking the fight. So the second variable that I want to talk about, so the first one was matchup knowledge, the second one is map awareness. remember that not everything is just taking place in the duo lane. There are still other lanes that actually also can have a lot of impact in duo lane. Solo shouldn't have an impact in duo lane, could still have it, but I think in 99% of the games, solo lane won't have an impact in dual lane in the early game. Let's be clear about that. Not that some guy comes to me and is like, yo, yesterday, 26-minute game, solo lane came to gank me. Yeah, I mean, then you're in the wrong stage of the game. But, okay. So, map awareness. Keep track of the enemy jungler and mid. If they are not on the map, be extra careful. Do you have wards? Can you see them coming beforehand? Can you engage? Can you retreat? Whatever. So go on. So the last variable is map knowledge. What I mean with map knowledge, which also kinda creates better map awareness, is buff timers. Why it creates better map awareness, by the way, I will go into that later, I promise. So buff timers, the most important things are oracles, red, purple, so that you don't back and they come up and they get stolen and stuff like that. But also the speed is important. I will come back to that point why it is important later. And blue matters the least. Like, it's not that important. Blue is really variable when the jungler is gonna do it anyways. Also, really important map knowledge is when how long it takes to get from point A to B. I'm not gonna go in depth yet. I'm gonna do that in the next clip I'm gonna shoot. In this video, it's still in this video. Don't worry about that. How long does it take to get from point A to B? Like that's if you have a Janus, he's obviously quicker than a Ra. Okay, so that was it for the variables. So the variables are matchup knowledge, map awareness, and map knowledge. And map awareness and map knowledge is not the same because map knowledge is more about knowing things about the map, and map awareness is more about looking where things or people are on the map. So let's go into the next thing. So after going through the variables we just talked about, it's time to go more in depth on those variables. So matchup knowledge. Then under matchup knowledge, like, comes right away how certain abilities affect your positioning. While you're clearing waves, abilities affect positioning because some gods have higher clear potential than others. You have to keep that in mind. Some good supports with clear are Capri, Sylvanas, Ganesh. Some ADCs with great clear are Rama and Izanami. They're insane. Except like Izanami is not meta and really easy taken out of the battleground because it's just not a strong character, but the clear is still insane. So what is the benefit about higher clearing potential? Like, first of all, you can pressure the enemy by dealing poke, or you can rotate to potential buffs available in the map, giving you a lead, giving you, if you have enough of a lead, more space to do your own stuff. If you don't have, you do buffs like when you don't have that much kill potential because the enemy has heal, their damage output is really good, they have a lot of turnaround potential, or they have a defensive playstyle. So the third thing of the benefit is when do you poke, when you get benefit out of the poke, when there are just no buffs to take, when there are contestable buffs but you don't have the time to do them before duo also rotates towards them. Like, a lot of time I see duo lane really close to a wave, but there are like one or two minions left, and then I see the duo lane rotate to the Oracle Harpies, which then results in a clash around Oracle's Harpies, which the enemy duo lane might get. They get an XP lead and they actually fuck you in lane because they hit level 5 earlier. So some gods have higher fighting poking potential because they have higher damage numbers, Ares Uller. They have displacement, Sobek Honor, or their CC monster Ymir Artemis. So why is displacement so strong? It's just because you can tell someone in the wave, early game, like objective and minions do a lot of damage. You can push them into the wave, you can pull them into the tower. Like, Sobek has a lot of turnaround because if you chase him towards the tower lane, he pulls you into the tower, you're dead. Same goes for Honor, he can impale you into the wall. Like, whatever. There are some CC monsters, Ymir and Artemis, like I mentioned. Like it was really hard to come up with an ADC, but I guess Artemis is a good thing because she has a really good turnaround potential and have like a lot of CC if she has the combo, full combo of this. So after deal. So where to position during clear? I made a couple of clips to make this clear. To the side, next to the wall, away from the jungle. Why to the wall, away from the jungle? Because it helps you when you get a gank. You have like 2 seconds. Your support is in between you and the thing, so that's really good when you get a gank. That's the thing you always want. So just stay to the side of the wall and your support to the right side or the left side. I mean, it depends on what side you are, but the other side, and then he is in between you and the gank, and you also have more time to actually go away and react to what's happening. It could be a difference between life and death, you know? So an example of this when you want to stay to the side next to the wall is when you are against Medusa. I have a clip here right now. I'm gonna show you that Medusa. I'm Medusa and I'm firing a 2. And as you can see, there's a clip of him standing enough to the side to not get hit by the 2 and enough that he gets hit by the 2. So simply just watch the clips real quick and I'll be back after. So here's a clip of Medusa. I will show you what happens when Medusa uses her 2 and understands the wave. You might already know this, but as you can see here, Honor gets hit by the wave because he's not positioned in the wave well. This actually like changes the way you position. So when you actually do this correctly, and he should be positioned correctly, he would be more to the side. I would say to the left side, like I explained. He's not positioned really well here. He should be more to the side of the wall. Because like when he gets ganked, he could die in that situation. So yeah, that's why. So sometimes you want to position next to a wave so that you don't get hit by a spirit arrow. You don't want to stand in the wave, so you're just going to be really close next to it. Here you can see an example of like being next to the wave, like Najaz now. But again, I would be at the side next to the wall, so that when you get a gank, you have a little more reaction time to actually react to it. One reason to actually be in the wave is to block damage. Like you see, I'll move to the left a little bit to look. No, yeah, I do. You can see that I didn't hit the wave at all, which is pretty bad because I definitely should. Also, I fucking missed my jump there like a fucking retard. But well. So we were just messing around here a little bit, but I'm pretty sure you get the point here in like where you should position and why. It's pretty obvious, but I still want to put this in there because a lot of people don't know how to properly play position against the Medusa. Well, it's not that hard. So something different I want to talk about is that I already stated it. Some gods just have higher fighting poking potential, like Ares. Ares has great fighting potential. Uller has like a 3-1 that really work well. He has a stun, everything. If you feel like they have more damage, great displacement advantage, or if they have a lot of CC compared to you, just don't take the fight. While you are in lane, you will feel each other out. You will feel how the enemy ADC is. Maybe he's equally less or more skilled than you. You will feel that out. If you feel confident in yourself, and if you're in a 2v2, you're also confident in your support, of course, go for it. Like, even if you have the disadvantage, if you know that you can hit 5 more basics in one fight than the enemy ADC, just fucking do it. Go for it, dude. Also, if your support is gonna body block for you and their support isn't, also go for it, dude. Like, just go for it. It's like really situational, but you have to feel that out for yourself. But just keep in mind what kind of return damage they can do, and don't chase them towards to the tower if they have a so big because you get pulled in, that kind of stuff. So also travel time. Here is where the travel time comes back from point A to B. It's also put in matchup knowledge because it's kind of god knowledge. It's really good to realize which gods are in the enemy's team and how fast they can go from point A to point B. For example, it's good to know that Janus would be in your lane twice or thrice as quick as Ra. He will ult and he will be in your lane like I don't even know the timers, 8 seconds or something. I'm just saying something. I mean, it depends from where he ults to, but well, you know, and Ra has to walk all the way. Obviously, Ra has a huge range on his ult, so he can ult you from out the jungle. But if you know that, that you can still like do something, like if you know how fast the god is and there is a missing call, or you put him at a ward. Yeah, I said ward. You know how fast they can be where you are. Maybe you can sneak that one more way if you wanted to finish your fucking precious item. And did I say ward already? Like, wards are so important, dude. So let's talk about map awareness. First of all, wards. Map can give you wards can give you a really good idea of where the enemy is heading or where they are on the map right now. Like you can see which direction they're heading and that kind of stuff. Like you can see them enter the solo side jungle or something, and then you know you can engage, or that you, or when they are coming towards you, you know you have to back off. Maybe you already know it's too late, you still try to out-trade, but well, you know, that kind of stuff. I'll make a more detailed video about where to ward as an ADC or where you should be focusing on, because here is also really important. Like in the early game, you also have to look at your mid and jungle a lot. Just try to look every like 5 to 10 seconds. You should definitely check the map out when you're going aggressive, like where are they. Also look if their mid jungle is pushed up, or they having pressure, because that might mean they are easier going to your lane and gonna be there first, so they have their first gank and you can have a counter gank. But mostly in the early game, I feel like counter ganks are less effective than unless you spot the ganks out and actually survive them. Also, another reason to check the map even more in the early game is when they have really mobile gods such as Janus and Tor. Keep track of your, just press tab, look if they already hit level 5, and if you see them, just be really careful with that kind of stuff. Just try to keep your mindset at where the enemies might be, and if every time you want to go aggressive or you step over the middle line, look at the map. When you don't see mid and jungle, it's best to take the safest route and not be too aggressive unless ward should have spotted the rotation out. Like, if you don't know where they are, but you're pretty sure wards should spot them out right here, then it's fine. Like, or if you actually have a decent idea where they're heading due to the map knowledge. Like, that was the third variable. I don't know if you remember that, map knowledge. I'll go into that. Like, sometimes you know where they are heading because of map knowledge, but I'm giving some tips about how to get map awareness a bit later in the video, like almost when I'm closing this video out. So, map knowledge, buff timers. Buff timers, wait, what? How does it help my positioning, dude? Well, I'll explain that to you. When you know what buffs are up, you can climb inside the head of a jungler. Now, I am not saying that I always know when the speed or mana is up, or that I know what a jungler is gonna do. I'm currently a main jungler myself, which really helps me with that. But a lot of the enemy buffs will be coming up around the same time as your buffs. Definitely in the beginning. The later the game goes, the more the time varies, like between their buff coming up and yours, because in the beginning it's probably gonna be a couple of seconds, because when you're going for your speed, they're going for theirs, that kind of stuff. So it's like 10 seconds difference. So the only buff that varies like in the beginning a lot is the mana, because not every solo laner needs them right away. Some of them do need them right away. The red could differ if ADC or support goes to lane first. So to get into the head of a jungler, you need to predict what camp's jungle prioritizes over others. For example, the most important thing to a jungler is his speed. Also, contested jungle camps are often prioritized mid-harpies, fire elementals, and gold oracles. If you know the prioritization, you can make a guess of where the jungler is if you know certain buffs are up. So if you know speed is up and you see a lit ADC, you just kill that motherfucker. Like, Of course, there's no guarantee that the jungler won't gank, but he will lose speed for it if your own jungler pays attention. Like, a jungler often ganks dual lane when you're either A, way too far pushed up, B, you're a god with literally no way of escaping, AMC. So, a jungler often prioritizes his speed. Like, all junglers are like, dude, I want my speed. They're invading it every time. We're gonna lose this game.
Help!
I mean, that's just how they
Help!
are. So let's go to the ending bit. So before I'm gonna fully stop this video, I want to give you 2 tips. First of all, use a timer interval of 10 seconds. Every time it beeps, look at the map. I'll put a link in the description where you can find a YouTube video which beeps every 10 seconds. Also, feel free to change the user interface in Smite so that the map is closer to the middle. Those are mainly tips to just keep yourself to look at the map. Make yourself look at a map. Sorry, that was really bad English. I'm not a native English speaker, so. So in conclusion, wards win you games. Ward, ward, ward. Put wards on the map. Ward everywhere. Ward duo. Ward solo. Ward jungle. Ward, 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 ward. But seriously though, let's summarize real quick. If you're able to gain map awareness, map and matchup knowledge, you will be able to become better and better at positioning yourself as an ADC. In at least the early game for this video. Although I'm sure that some of the things will actually help you with like the entirety of the game. To gain this knowledge, all you need to do is just play, and just be actively thinking about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to improve. Just realize the variables I've said and just think about if you're working on them. I'm not saying that those are the only variables or whatsoever. I'm still learning myself, and I just hope to at least help some of you out. So I hope you really enjoyed, like, I don't think you really enjoyed this video, but it's trying to be informative. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you will check my next video out.
Please?
I hope to get some comments here, like what could be better, if it helped
Please?
you, that kind of stuff. So please subscribe and like the video, and
Please?
just share your ideas with me about what I will do in the future. I already have some plans which are interesting. I want to make matchups videos, how certain matchups ADC wise go. So yeah guys, I'll check you guys out.
Thanks!
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
And hopefully see you next time.
Thanks!